Hey y'all, it's me, Corey. The following presentation will outline my approach to showcasing the Bayesian analysis techniques for my working company, 3DR. The commercial drone unmanned aerial vehicle market is filled with innovative companies seeking new ways to transform outdated business practices and introduce new ones using drone technology. To showcase their innovative solutions for both hardware and software demands, UAV companies tend to flock toward the industry's top global conferences, exhibitions, or trade shows to reach target audiences. For this year, 2020, it would be beneficial for 3DR to register for a vendor slot at the annual conference called Commercial UAV EXPO Americas. This will be the 6th annual Commercial UAV EXPO in the Americas, hosted in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Paris Resort Hotel and Casino that has an expected attendee count of about 3,000 plus from across 50 plus countries. Benefits for attending include, but are not limited to, unique networking opportunities, insight into new industry developments, and even trends. According to DC 2020, the conference is an educational program that features more than 200 thought leaders sharing information and best practices on global drone technology. As an exhibitor and or vendor at the conference, 3DR has a great opportunity to use attendee demographic data to gain insight on their target customers and also ways to create leads for future business opportunities. In particular, one way 3DR can use your collected customer data is by having a lottery analysis where conference attendees voluntarily share their registration profile information via radio frequency identification wristband with 3DR vendor representatives, which automatically signs said customers up for the 3DR lottery giveaway for a chance to win a free trip to Hawaii. Yep, you heard it right. If and when conference attendees stop by the 3DR vendor booth and scan their RF wristband for more information, 3DR will tell them about a special giveaway where one attendee will have an opportunity to be randomly selected to win a free trip to Hawaii. With this scenario in mind, 3DR has everything to gain from joining other market leaders at the UAV Expo, and more importantly, they can gain sample marketing data collected during the event to conduct further analysis on their customers and guide future product service development efforts. Hypothetically speaking, if the leadership at 3DR decided to register for the Commercial UAV Expo of Americas and become a vendor based on all the great benefits previously outlined in the post, 3DR promotional event, it's time to see how they can organize potential attendee conference data to support their market analysis initiatives. To start, 3DR can target customer pools focused on predefined categories outlined during the registration process. In particular, 3D can organize the data into 4 categories identified under company responsibilities during the registration process. These categories are executive management, project manager, engineering technical lead, and sales and marketing. For analysis purposes, these categories represent an attendee's company responsibilities. Now let's fast forward to day 1 of the conference, and the attending 3DR staff, let's just say they want to organize the data from the attendees that stop by their booth in order to assess the demographics of that data. Here's what the categorized data would look like. Keep the 3DR marketing data by company responsibility in mind as we move through the scenarios of the case study. The data outlined within will be used to create a variety of Bayesian statistical analyses. Now that 3DR has a sample data set of the attendees that visited their booth during day 1 of the conference, they can now perform a variety of different analyses on this data to answer some questions that may or may not arise during the event. For instance, what if a legal concern was raised based on some of the attendees that expressed that a disproportionate number of sampled attendees that were entered into 3DR's lottery to win a trip to Hawaii are men? If an attendee is randomly selected from 3DR's marketing data pool, what is the probability that the attendee is a woman? Based on marginal probability, 3DR can take the total number of recorded female attendees, which is 185, that has stopped by the booth and divide that number by total attendees that visited the booth, which is 584. Here's a simple equation. In this example, the marginal probability that a female would be randomly selected out of the marketing data pool is 31.6%, where the male probability of being selected is 68.3%. Now, this could bring some bias between the probability of male versus females being selected simply due to the numbers outlined. However, 3DR can easily justify their position, stating that there was no bias and the selection process was fair. Suppose 3DR was giving away a free trip to Hawaii for attendees that voluntarily inquired about more information on 3D products and services during the event. Obviously, 3DR could use the same marketing data collected by voluntary attendees that decided to scan their RFID wristbands. In this case, it would be wise for 3DR to know what the chance of each attendee category was in the table to be randomly selected. Here's how 3DR can calculate this. Given the executive management category from the table, 3DR would use the statistical formula, basically total number of executive management attendees divided by total number of attendees. For this, 3DR would take the total number of recorded executive management attendees, 230, and divide by total number of recorded attendees, 584. That will equal 0.393. As a result, the probability of selecting an attendee from the executive management category would be 39.3%. And following project manager, 38.8, engineering and technical lead, 14.7% probability, and sales and marketing, 7% probability. By using a probability formula highlighted above, 3DR can show its attendees that the selected winners of the lottery were fair and that no bias was entered into the random selection process other than factual data collected via RFID wristbands. Based on a hypothetical scenario, if 3DR decided to implement Bayesian paradigms in the marketing efforts, it would have visibility into information that perhaps would not normally be able to gain insight on. Given the 3DR marketing data by company responsibility, 3DR can identify the probability that the winner is either a male or is in the sales and marketing category by using the union probability formula. As outlined above, there is a 74.3% chance that the winner is either male or is in the sales and marketing category. Moving on, what if 3DR wanted to know what is the probability that the winner is a male from the engineering technical lead category? In this particular case, 3DR can use the joint probability formula to get their answer. As outlined, there is a 4.7% chance that the winner is a female from the technical lead category. Lastly, what if 3DR wanted to know what is the probability that the winner is from the project manager category and it is known that it is a male? In this particular case, 3DR can use a conditional probability formula to get their answer. As outlined, there is a 46.3% chance that the winner is from the project manager category, knowing that the attendee is a male. All in all, Bayesian statistics can be applied to a variety of different business case scenarios to gain useful information on populations. As outlined in 3DR analysis above, the statistical approaches could very well serve 3DR in its efforts to identify insights on its attendees and target customers. With consumer demands high and ample opportunity available, Mumbai, India would be a great place for 3DR to expand its focus operations to serve consumers in a rapidly growing urban city. From efforts to improve roads to government opportunities to survey large sectors of land for real estate growth, 3DR has an opportunity to expand business operations. Hey y'all, it's me, Corey. The following presentation will outline my approach to showcasing the CEO decisions for my working company, 3DR. With all things considered, 3DR has an opportunity to profit over the course of the next 12 months if they prepare for new business growth by creating in-house capacity for software engineers to support customer demands. Regardless of the economic conditions, 3DR only looks to profit if they choose to build capacity in-house with projections as high as an EMV, estimated monetary value of $267,500, and on the lower end, an EMV of $13,500. Looking at the personnel analysis, 3DR currently employs an estimated total of 118 people. For business case scenario experience, let's pretend 3DR's personnel breakdown in the categories depicted in the above image that represent all business operations. The project personnel growth across 3DR is an additional 8.3 personnel projection. This shows a total of 10% growth in an engineering tech professional category, 2% growth in the sales and marketing, and 1% growth in a program manager category. The remaining categories did not get affected by 3DR expansion efforts as they depict 0. So here's what 3DR's operational footprint will look like if they use a lean startup approach. According to Kraft, 3DR has a history of obtaining financial backing for capital development. Since 3DR's startup days, they have collected a total of $152.1 million in Series A through Series D funding. This is highlighted on the image below. Accordingly, 3DR should not have any issue receiving additional funding for expansion efforts if they choose to do so. For risk analysis, 3DR should continue efforts to expand into the new market segments such as the market located in Mumbai, India. To do this, they would need to identify sales opportunities linked to consumer demands within the region of the world. For risk analysis, as outlined above in the operations analysis image, the risky opportunities presented in the data for 3DR to consider if they were to expand business operations aligns with the in-house creation of increased capacity. All in all, 3DR, here's a good presentation for references.